I've received a huge number of inquiries about seeking exemptions from university vaccine mandates. I thought it'd be a good idea to do a quick video looking at an example exemption form and pointing out a few things that jumped out at me as a lawyer and that I think bear seeking some further advice. Hello, my name is Nicholas Wansbutter. I'm a criminal defense lawyer in Stratford, Ontario, Canada, and welcome to Don't Talk TV. So as I'm sure most viewers of this channel know, just a couple weeks ago, maybe not even 2 weeks ago at this point, pretty much all the universities and colleges in Ontario very suddenly declared that all employees and students must be vaccinated in order to attend their campuses. In order to receive an education, you need a COVID-19 vaccine. They offer some very limited exceptions or exemptions, just two that I've seen really, medical exemption and religious or creed exemption. Now, apparently it's next to impossible to find a physician who's willing to sign off on a medical exemption, so a lot of people have been looking at the religious and creed exemptions. So I thought I'd take a look at one university's exemption form, or request for an exemption. That's from the University of Western Ontario. All the other forms I've seen are very similar, not identical, but they seem to all be following the same pattern. So I just wanted to look at a few things that jumped out at me that I think bear some extra consideration before you rush out and try and find a lawyer who is willing to notarize this for you. So I've actually got Western's employee statement of creed/religious belief. I couldn't find the student one easily on their website, but I've seen the student one because someone sent it to me. It just wasn't in a good format for screen sharing on this channel. It's identical, just the top heading is a bit different. So let's take a look at it quick. Obviously, you have to fill in the information of who you are that's seeking this request. And then they have this important information here. So it just confirms here that in order to receive a valid exemption for medical reasons, an individual must complete this statement of creed and religious belief form and have it sworn or affirmed before a commissioner of oath. They have all these risks of not being vaccinated. Now, whether you're agreeing to this or not by signing the document may be a source of some argument, but I think it's something to keep in mind that they could argue later that you agreed, when you signed this, that you agreed by not being vaccinated that you're agreeing that all these things are true here, and that, i.e., that you're agreeing that vaccination is one of the most effective ways to protect our families, etc., and that you're agreeing that there's a growing body of evidence indicating that people fully vaccinated are less likely to have asymptomatic infection or to transmit COVID-19 to others. So you may want to be cautious of that if you have any inclination that you might later want to try and argue that those things are not true. But the most important stuff here comes below. So first, state the reasons for the accommodation request here. So you have to describe the religious beliefs or creeds that preclude you from being vaccinated. So a lawyer cannot fill this out because a lawyer doesn't belong to your religion or know your religion. A lawyer is not a theologian or a person who can comment on religious things. So this you have to fill out all yourself, and the lawyer is not going to be able to make any commentary on that. That's all you. All the lawyer is doing is confirming that this is a true document when you sign it. Now here's the keys. These are things that you're agreeing to. You're agreeing that I understand that should an outbreak occur, note that it doesn't specify that should an outbreak occur at Western University. It's just should an outbreak occur, period. The Middlesex, London Public Health, or Western may impose additional restrictions or requirements on me for health and safety reasons, which may not apply to other individuals on campus who've been fully vaccinated. So I think that you're potentially agreeing to be subject to additional restrictions that aren't placed on anyone else if you've signed this document. You're then agreeing that I understand that Western will require me to be tested as set out in Western's COVID-19 vaccination policy, and that I will be required to disclose my results to Western in order to attend on campus. So you're essentially agreeing to be tested and to give them the results. And you understand that Western may require you to follow additional health and safety protocols, including, but not limited to. So they can do more than this, but at minimum, they're going to make you mask and social distance, or physically distance, and they could make you remote learn anyway, even if you sign this document. And finally, I understand that I may choose to be vaccinated at a later date. So I think those are some very serious things to consider. I'm not offering legal advice in this video, just trying to translate from lawyerese into plain English, but you're potentially agreeing to this testing, to being subject to additional restrictions, and I think that seeking this exemption is at best buying yourself a bit of time. What happens if you get a false positive 2 weeks into school and then you're quarantined for 2 weeks and then it happens again? You could very quickly find yourself kicked out of your program or failed out of it because you've missed too many classes. Or as I said, you may end up doing remote learning anyway, so why even agree to having a swab stuck down your nose 3 times a week if you're going to be remote learning anyway? From a practical perspective, I know that the lawyers with the Constitutional Rights Center who are suing the universities are strongly recommending that people not seek exemptions because it's acquiescing to unlawful conduct, and I think it could negatively impact your ability to join in a lawsuit at a later date if you wanted to. So these are some considerations. Most importantly, these are things that you should discuss with a lawyer, with retained counsel who can look into things more detailed, your specific circumstances, and offer you actual advice. Again, this video is not advice, this is information that can help you decide whether you want to seek further advice, and you can get that advice from a lawyer. You can call another lawyer or myself. I'm a criminal lawyer, but I've been working on updating my knowledge, and I hope to have my professional liability insurance updated this week so that I can start doing some consultations. Now, I can't do free consultations for these because it's just too much to look into. School policies have to be reviewed, the contract that you signed when you applied to the university, that all has to be reviewed, and that all takes time. But if you're interested, you can call me or email me. My 1855 number and my website are listed below. And as always, if there's topics you'd like to see me discuss, please feel free to send a suggestion either to the email address listed below or in the comments box. And if you found this video at all interesting, helpful, or informative, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing, and following me on social media. Also keep in mind that if you're watching this on YouTube, you can also find me on Rumble and Odyssey for other options. So thank you for watching, and looking forward to see you again later this week.